Hey guys, this is going to be a demo review of Splyce's T-side versus CLG. So obviously we're going to start off with the pistol round because knife rounds I don't think matter too much, especially on cash. So what we're going to have here is, I don't know if they hear the vent broken or not, but they're going to watch for a mid push, and they're going to sit in a default. You're going to have Jason R spotting anybody pushing A main. You're going to have Davey and Professor Chaos together, watching for any sort of a B push. You're going to have Arya watching again that mid push, or anybody that just tries to do anything mid. Just listen to anything. And then you're going to have Abe here watching for Squeaky. So basically they're just watching places, making sure nobody can push on the counter-terrorist side and get info. And I guess Arya is also listening to see if anybody drops off boost. So eventually what's going to happen is, and we'll speed this up in a second, but they're going to do a B take. Now, it looks like Professor Chaos is lining up perfectly for a smoke, right? And I don't really understand what happens, but it goes really far, and I feel like that's pretty detrimental to the round. They do throw a flash, which kind of helps, but the thing I don't like is that why was this smoke missed in the first place? Because I feel like it's pretty important of a smoke, and basically anybody from headshot or holding CT can see through the smoke and actually can kill you at certain angles. So what happens eventually is that Targ comes out of the vents and kills somebody, and then they get the trade kill. But what I would like to mention here is some lack of either communication or knowing what's going on in the round. So you're going to see on the right here we have Abe, and on the left here we have Davey. And Abe is usually their lurker, I think, and Davey is the guy who tries to get frags a lot. So they're going to boost Davey up into the vent. Can't really see anything because of the smoke bug. But we're going to see what happens and why it seems like there's some communication issues. So, obviously, why is Abe jumping? Because if he's supposed to be boosting Davey, they should do it pretty quickly. Also, nobody's looking out for anything. Because there's so much miscommunication going on over here, somebody behind this box could have just peeked out and killed them both. Because they're both just jumping around. And anybody who rushes into checkers could have killed them both. But, regardless, they do start to get around going together. Another thing I'd like to point out about this strat is that it relies on 5 Glocks. So as everybody knows, Glocks aren't good for range. That's why for pistols, usually they're going to upgrade, or the counter-terrorists are going to have a favor and long-range aim duels. Usually this would be a huge problem for them, but it seems like they just get the kills anyway. I think CLG kind of plays it wrong. For example, they start getting these kills onto the A site. How do they do that against USPs? I don't really know. But then it starts to become a 3-on-2. And then as Abe tries to lurk in a second, he's actually just going to get killed. Because JDM here is just waiting for him. Because he knew the guy was B. He heard the gunshots. And they just start waiting. So now what would I like to see from these two players? We have Davey here by quad, and we have Arya. So as you see, they're both peeking. And how can this be a problem? Well, if the two CTs push together, and they both look at these angles, they could kill them instantly, and they both die, and there's no trade. What if Davey was hiding behind quad, and as soon as Arya peeks and shoots, then he starts to peek quad, and then he kills somebody. At least you have a trade possibility. Here, they're just relying too much on aim. They do get the kills in the end, but I feel like it could have gone wrong, right? Especially with CLG still having a smoke. If they get one kill, potentially they win the round. So, they win the first round. That's cool, everything. But now we're moving into the second round, which is still just as hard to win. Well, not just as hard, but it's hard in a different sense. So what does everybody know about CLG? Well, they always force buy, and they can always get JDM, the op, on the first gun round if they lose the first round, right? So how do they prepare for this? Well, they still have 3 SMGs, and I don't really like that too much. Because sure, you can jump around corners and do things, but you can't one-hit headshot somebody with head armor. Here they don't buy head armor, they still have body armor, but the whole thing about SMGs is your person can't hit you if they don't have armor, and if they don't have head armor, you hit them once and they die. Also, what's really important to notice is that Arya is sitting here with the only AK. So which means if you're fighting against Fugly and Tarek, he's the only person that can one-hit people, which is pretty important. Also, if he were to lose this, they would have a huge gun in their arsenal, and you would have lesser guns to fight against somebody fighting against this AK. So once again, what do we know? Well, we know that CLG always force buys. And if you look at this buy over here, they have 1, 2 Molotovs, and they have 3 HEs. I would definitely say prioritize a lot more on that, on these kind of grenades if you're gonna buy them, because you can just do a lot more with them. I don't know if you saw in the Cloud9 versus Dignitas game, but Dignitas put heavy mid pressure, and Cloud9 didn't clear any of it out, and they eventually lost the round because they pushed out mid and they just got destroyed. And we'll see why I think that's really important in a second. So we're gonna look at Professor Chaos. He gets boosted up here and plays the boost really passively, and you're gonna see. So what can he see? Well, he keeps looking out for anybody that's over here in the corner, checking out against boost, and there's anybody that's either holding here or wide peeking the boost. I mean, wide peeking to spot against the boost, right? So this is all he can see. So what can he not see? Well, he can not see anybody in the Z looking over towards mid, anybody that got here really quickly and came to sandbag, anybody that got here really quickly and came to trash, or up close mid, right? These spots right here, he cannot see. And he can also not see anybody that's peeking beside highway box out into mid. So basically, why do I think this is a problem? Well, later on in the round, you're going to see Arya just runs out mid and into the vent. And all he checks is this highway box and then close right. And then he just runs towards vents without even clearing the other angles, right? Because they could have just peeked out anywhere and killed him if they were doing heavy mid control. So now this either means that Chaos didn't tell him what he was looking at, or Arya just neglected to clear these angles. So now I'm going to show you Arya's perspective, and this is why I think I was looking at it and I was kind of bewildered because he kind of just pugs out. So he waits for the smoke. He's going to shoot the vent in a second, but then we're going to see what he does. So Professor Chaos can't see anything because he's not playing aggressively because he doesn't want to lose the Galil real quickly. So as you see, Arya's checking the highway box. They grenade it, so they're like, okay, maybe he's not highway, but we're still going to look. So what did he check there? All he checked was that nobody was playing here, and then nobody was playing here. Sure, maybe in his eye he saw he was trying to check here or something, but he didn't do it with his crosshair. And I would say anybody who's playing heavy mid control could completely shut down Arya. And as we talked about before, he was their only AK player. What if they played 3 people here, with one guy here, one guy here, and one guy here? The guy Arya comes out, dies, Chaos comes to peek, and then gets killed by these guys peeking him because they expect him to come out to get the trade kill, right? So that could definitely happen, and then it's just, I don't know, they start losing players all over the place, and then anything could happen because now the CTs have guns and they have armor. So it could be a problem later on if they keep trying to do that, especially against teams that prioritize mid control. So now that's not the only problem that happens here. Arya doesn't stop. He continues to just go out and try to get kills. And we're going to talk about why this is a problem right now. So now he's in checkers, he's shooting at somebody in the B site. So the first problem is, couldn't he die? So yes, he could die. He's fighting against Hazed, and if Hazed could hit a shot, in the head, one hit, Arya drops the AK. And now it's not even the fact that CLG has the AK, it's just the fact that Arya lost their only AK in the round. And now it's a 5v4, and CLG has an advantage just based off of people. So now what else? Why else is this a problem? Well, Arya's over here by checkers. Where's the rest of his team? We still have a guy like late mid. We have Abe who's nowhere near anything. And then we have 2 people sitting over here by Sunroom. So if Arya dies, there's no way anybody's getting a trade. It's just, he dies, it's over. So now we're going to see what also happens. So I don't know how this strat is supposed to work out, but they attempt to throw 2 lower smokes. So we're going to see. The first one is thrown out by Arya, right here. He goes to throw this smoke. And then what happens over here, we already saw, but Davey throws this smoke where this line is. He's right in front of him. It hits the ceiling right there, and it basically smokes out Arya. So now when he was trying to peek from checkers, he gets completely smoked out. And then as we'll see here, Davey backs up into Jason as he's throwing a smoke. And now this smoke is going to go land in the corner and obviously is nothing. So I think what Davey's smoke was supposed to do is smoke heaven. So that means now Jason smokes lower, Davey smokes upper. Obviously neither of their smokes worked, but Arya smoked out lower, so they have that smoke, but they're expecting a heaven smoke, which isn't coming. And it actually kind of destroys them. As we'll see here, Davey's going to get wrecked by JDM, who I think plays that spot not too uncommonly. I know Finesse used to play it with a CZ. And then we're going to have Jason R, who's going to peek out, try to get that trade kill, right? But he's going to get wrecked by no one other than Tarek, who is sitting Heaven, which didn't get smoked out at all. So now, what's happening? It's a 5v3. It literally almost couldn't be going worse for them. But they do manage to kind of get it back. We're going to see Professor Chaos comes here and gets the kill on this guy. We're going to see Abe comes through Vent, and look what happens to him. He basically gets wrecked. Because he's also expecting Heaven to be smoked. So when he comes out of Vent, he just comes in and right into the site. So now it's a 2v2. It really shouldn't have gone this far. They should have just done their normal execute, not bumped each other, not had Arya just be a crazy man and come in. Because he basically was like, hey, CLG, we're going B. I'm just running through. We're going to do a quick B take. So they kind of do some quick rotations over. Then we're going to see Professor Chaos gets the Heaven guy. So now it's a 2v1, and eventually they do win the round. Another thing I would like to point out is that now it's a 2v1, and you have the bomb. So now you have to get the bomb planted. So where should you plant? So always, the first thing you should do is plant for your teammates. Because, you might die. Who knows? But at least it'll be planted for your teammates, so that once you die, because you're stuck in the site, basically, they can work with it, and they can, hide and then peek when the other person's starting to defuse. All these different things. Well, as you see, Arya is taking this blue or under Heaven position, so you can't plant for him really without leaving yourself too exposed. So, what should you do? Well, you should now plant for yourself, because Arya could just die on his own. He's really exposed right now. But Professor Chaos starts planning for B main. But what if the guy flanks B main? And I'm pretty sure, I kept looking into it, I don't think anybody could have known that he was coming from lower. I didn't hear any footsteps from the VOD. Maybe they heard it in the game. To see, he's even looking to the left. He hears the flash, so then he goes to re-peek it. But it definitely could have gone badly if the guy came B main, killed Arya, and then killed Professor Chaos, because he knows he's in the site. So definitely some things to look at, communication-wise, gameplay-wise. Do people know what's going on in the strat? So that's the first 2 rounds. So now we're going to look into the 3rd round here. Oh no, I'm going to go look at the 2nd round real quick, just to show you how much of a clown fest it looks like. I forgot. So we're going to come over here, and I'm going to show you the overview of what it looks like. If we just come right here. This is a nice spot. So we're going to see Hayes is right here, right? He's just holding. And he could have got that shot, and Arya just immediately dies, and it's already a 5v4. Now you see all these different smokes coming in. You can see Jason's in the corner over there. They basically smoked themselves out of the site and had to rush just to try to get a bomb plant, and they end up winning the round. I don't know, I think it's really funny. So then we're going to go into this 3rd round here. And what are we going to look at? Basically it's an anti-eco, nothing too special to look at. They buy 2 AKs, a Galil, a MAC-10. It's on normal speed, right? Yeah. And another AK. So basically, they're going to send Davey over here. They're just going to be like, hey, you spot out the B site. We're going to play you alone. If you die, you drop the MAC-10. It doesn't really matter. And we're going to kind of go A, or we're going to figure it out. So as you see, Davey just comes here. He's, getting all these Mac Daddy kills. But basically, the whole time they're going A. They cleared out. They're starting to clear out A. They're just sending Davey as a fake and just to get some free money. Because why not give him the extra bonus reward, right? For getting kills. So they win the round, nobody dies, which is actually really nice. Now for the 4th round, they're going to do just an A take, right? They're going to slow it down a little bit, and they're going to do it at an A take. So we're going to come here. Just a little tip for you guys, if you ever see people are stuttering while they're walking, you can just pause it for 2 seconds, and then just press play again. So we're going to see when their A take comes in. It's actually a really cool take, I think. They smoke out for quad, and then they do a wall of smokes over here. So that they just have to kill these highway people, and as you see, it's really nice. They come, they check highway, they get the trade, right? Jason R dies, Davey gets the trade kill. And then Color tries to peek for mid, gets killed. It's really nice. So it's going really well for them. It's 4v3. Sure, Davey has 1 health, but they already have the bomb planted, and they're assuming that there's a guy still over here by quad, right? Because basically, effectively, you smoked this guy into the site, and now he's stuck into the site. So what should you do? You should maybe have this guy watching for the quad guy, and then you can have this guy in A main just waiting until the end of the round, and he can watch A main, and if they try to, defuse the bomb, he can see it, because it's planted for him, basically. And then what happens is Davey decides to push, right? He's like, I have 1 health, somebody flashed me in, or no, he's just like, I have 1 health, I'm going to push the smoke, and I'm probably going to die, but I'll get a head count for you guys, and we'll see where it goes from there. The one question I have here is Arya can back out to A main, and he can watch the A main flank, and we're going to watch him and see what he does. I feel like he's trying to do too much here. He could literally just sit here and watch the A main flank. He decides to shoot randomly into the truck smoke, kills Davey. Now, 1 of 2 things could have happened. Number 1, I'm correct, and Arya should just be watching A main and not caring about what else goes on. Or number 2, Davey went against whatever play was supposed to happen, and he's not supposed to be there. So I don't know whose fault it is. I'm going to throw it on Arya just because I don't know otherwise. But let's see, what do we have here? That's about it, really. They just come and retake the bomb site. You're going to see JDM's going to get the op shot here, I think, right? He kills him, and now it's left to Arya. Basically nothing he can do. They just retake the bomb site really easily. Everybody's peeking, everybody's dying. Nobody's even hiding out, waiting for it. Basically, maybe even once they got a kill highway, they should have sent somebody highway. And they could flank behind truck, or they could just chill highway, because obviously the bomb's planted for them. They could have kept Arya A main, and he could have just hid. I don't know why everybody's peeking. Everybody's basically running out. Maybe they didn't expect Fugly to still be in the A site. Maybe that's the problem. So now we're coming into round 5. And it's going to be a B take. But what I don't really like is they were doing pretty well with the fast takes. Like, sure, it went badly, but they got the rounds. And what they're effectively doing here is they're just sitting over at B. So this is the first gun round, right? Or like the next gun round, not the first one. And what I don't like is they're just enclosing themselves over here. And if anybody pushes over here, anywhere on the entire side of the map, they could get info. The whole thing about rushes are, it doesn't matter if they push, because you're already in the bomb site. And the information is basically useless. So we're going to see they take this really slowly, and it could have gone really poorly. If you look at JDM, there's a crack in the smoke, because of course whenever you smoke off to go into checkers, it kind of makes, not a one-way, but a little bit favored for somebody playing in checkers. So he could have done a lot more damage than he did. He gets Molotov'd out. He goes to re-peek it after it goes away. He's throwing flashes. His teammates are throwing flashes, all this stuff. And he could have got kills easily here. I don't think anybody's spamming. Should they threw a Molotov, but they didn't follow it up. They're not moving fast enough, in my opinion. They could be moving a lot slower if they had more map control, but they gave it up. So I would think they should be moving a lot faster. But we're going to see. Eventually, the smoke goes away, and JDM's sitting here, and he does get killed, because he's in a bad spot. I wouldn't say that that's any good part on Splyce, but a really bad spot for JDM to be. That, like, sure, you can peek it in the beginning of the round, but you have to assume that somebody could be hiding behind the smoke, and you shouldn't just be sitting there. That's just not smart. So now we're going to have Jason R. going to come in here, he's going to get killed by Hazed. Hazed is going to get traded after getting 2 kills. Davey's watching for some kind of flank, as his teammates don't even have the bomb site. There is one thing I would like to just rewind and look at here. I think Cutler plays this extremely interesting. We're going to see what kind of take they do onto the site. So they're going to make a wall of smokes again. And we're going to see how they go about it. They're going to smoke off the entire site. You see they're coming through Sunroom, they're coming all the way through here. What they do is they're smoking off this, but they're leaving lower and they're leaving heaven unsmoked. And I feel like that's a huge problem, because that's basically where all the rotators are going to come in, right? So basically you're smoking somebody onto the site and you're allowing the rotators to come in and kill you. I don't know how much I like that. Maybe they should have devoted some sort of smokes to doing that. instead. So what Cutler does is really interesting to me. So he can hear the bomb being planted, right? But he doesn't know where it is. So he starts moving around the site. He wants to get into an advantageous position in case they push the smoke. What I don't understand here is he hears the plant again. He should know, based off of, you know, like where you hear the sound, where the guy's planting in the smoke, and he should be able to kill it. At least spam the smoke. But it doesn't really matter. He waits for his team to come, and who knows, maybe that's the better decision. And they basically clear everything out. They do end up winning the round. Arya gets a nice shot right here. He goes to then peek on the other side, but Cutler's already waiting because he's been in the bomb site, and nobody knows he's there. Davey then is just, there's nothing he can do here, and he dies. So now, we're moving into the 6th round. And what I find really interesting here is you see Abe just bought that, so Abe had $3,700 more dollars. And we're gonna look who's been showing the most impact right now, because it's all about who's performing well now. Well, it's Arya and Davey, right? Abe, Chaos, and Jason are on the bottom. They're not getting carried, of course, but they're not performing as well right now as the other players are. And we're gonna look at this buy. So what they could do right now is, you can see how 3 of them can't buy and 2 of them can buy. They could either completely buy now, or they could just have Arya and Abe drop some pistols to the other people, and then have a spectacular buy next round. But what they choose to do is something I just can't comprehend. We're going to look at what they have at the end of this. So, look at the money and look what people have. So we have Professor Chaos at $1,050. We have Davey. Or no. Okay, so we'll just, yeah, okay, here it comes. We have Davey at 1,000. We have Abe at 1,150. We have Professor Chaos at 100. So effectively, this is a buy round. You can't say, hey, we're going to lose this round, and we're going to have enough money to buy next round. Because if you look, they're only on the 2-round loss bonus. And for a 3rd round loss bonus, you get $2,400, right? So if you do 2,400 plus 1,000, that's 3,400, and that is still not enough to get a good buy-in. So why are they doing this weird buy? And look, Arya has a Glock and head armor. What is that going to do for you? And look, he has 9 kills. He's been pulling the team through the dirt. He's been getting them. He's basically the reason they have 3-round wins right now. Obviously, that's not true, but you could say that based off the kills. And look, Davey has a Tech 9. Why aren't you giving these players the AKs? Because obviously, sure, they might not be the better players in your mind, but they're performing right now. They're the stars. You should give them guns. And why does Arya, who dropped the Tech 9s, not have a gun for himself? He has 4,300, which is fantastic, but he has a Glock. Why doesn't he just buy himself like a P250 or something? Work with something here, because effectively this is a buy. They have to win this round. There's no going around that. But yeah, and then we're gonna see, this is round 6. We're gonna see what happens here. They do something really interesting, I think, this round. Maybe not. Okay, I think it's a different round than I was thinking about. No, it's this round, maybe? Okay, so they're just doing a normal 8-take, and they just get slaughtered wherever they come out of. They throw Molotovs down, and they run through the Molotovs, and they just get ripped. Oh no, they don't even make it through the Molotovs. Okay, they just peek, and CLG is ready for it, and they die. So effectively, what happened that round? They bought a lot of money. They put a lot into that round, and now they have nothing. Nothing to show for it. So I don't know why they did that, but they basically threw a round away. They just gave CLG the tie round. And now, if you look, they're going to go save again. So on the terrorist side, they just double saved. And that's just not common because it doesn't have to happen. They just shouldn't have bought that last round. And then they should have bought this round. There is one thing I would like to point out again in this round. again, and his smoke throwing tactics. So first he's going to throw a smoke for highway, and we'll look at that. And then he's going to throw a Molotov for quad, and we'll look at that too. So this smoke, you can already see it's landing way too far to the left. There's a huge crack here. For any highway player, like Cutler could have played this if he wanted to. He doesn't decide to, but that's something you should look forward into the future. How do you not throw a good highway smoke? That's just beyond me. And then you're going to see there's this Molotov that he's going to throw, right? And this Molotov, I don't know if you can tell, but it's already going way too far to the right. And it essentially goes out of the map. So, I don't know what happened here, but you should probably learn how to throw these smokes and Molotovs. Because I don't know, I feel like that's kind of beginner level. So now it's the 7th round. And... no? Yeah? Yeah, okay. This is where I think they do their cool smoke strat. Nope, they go B. So let's see what they do here. So are they going to do their same get to checker smoke? It looks like it. Does this one land? Okay, yeah, see, like, this is good! You should be able to do this every single time. And let's see what kind of B take they do here. I think they do the similar one. Yeah, looks like it. They're lining up in sunroom for it. So they throw a 1, 2. They throw a few smokes here. Okay, this is a bad smoke, that lower smoke, I can already tell, but it's a wall smoke, so it doesn't matter. But basically, once again, they're not having a heaven smoke. And as you see, Cutler's just sitting here above, shooting down on the peasants below him. So I feel like these strats are really cool, right? Like a wall of smokes, damn, that's really cool. Nobody does that on the B-bomb site. But if you're not going to smoke heaven, you're going to get screwed. Because he basically has an advantage. He can look over you, he can see your feet as you're walking out of checkers before you can see him. So we kind of threw that round away too. It's kind of a save, right? They just double saved. They gave CLG 2 rounds. But now we're going to have a great buy. Everybody's going to have enough nades except for Professor Chaos. And in this round, we're going to look at Davey for a little bit. Because this is... Davey has the op. I assume he's the opper because he keeps getting the op. We're going to see what he does with this. He throws... I guess I can't look at it, but he throws, his Z-smoke. And he's going to come up onto the boost. And we're going to see, why do I not like what he's doing? Initially, it's perfectly fine. But we're going to see, why does it take a turn for the worse, and what happens because of it. So he's playing really aggressively, right? If he's alone on mid, he should not be this far out. And you'll see he gets punished for it in a second. Maybe if this wasn't smoked and he had help pushing out a mid, he should not be this aggressive. He should be playing pretty low down, like he is now, just peeking at, like, looking at highway box, looking at Z, looking at highway box, looking at Z, waiting for the other team to mess up. Watching boost if he has to for a second, but you'll see, he takes a step too high. He goes on the rooftop, and then he dies. And why is this? Well, he's playing too aggressive. Literally, Cutler has mid smoked. All he's looking at is boost. While Davey, with his scope, can only be looking at one place at a time, right? When you come up with an AK, you can see everything, and you might have some sort of advantage. But when you're coming with an op, you can only zoom into one spot at a time. And it completely just destroyed the round, right? That was a huge investment. They kind of did a double save so he could get him. That's kind of questionable. But it's a minute 13 into the round, and you just lost a player. You're lucky the op didn't fall towards the other team, because maybe they pick it up and they do something with it. It's just a big piece of economy gone. And I don't know, I feel like if he was just playing more passive, he wouldn't have died. So now we're going to go over here and we're going to look at Arya. It's round 8. And we're going to see, what does Arya have in store for us? I think they start going into a late A take. Yeah, they do. We're going to see... Oh, yeah, I remember this. So basically, there's no A main smoke, so they just decide, hey, we're going to let Arya come and slow peek this, right? Arya opt, or he can opt. So we're just going to let him peek angles that he wants to. And then he comes here and kills their boost. So now you know there's a guy in the site. It should definitely be your round. Once you get this kill, it's a 4v3. they're probably playing 2-2, right? And you know where the other guy is. I don't know how they lose this round necessarily. They boost somebody into the vent, so they have an early mid rotator. But there's no way that Fugly should have been able to get these kills. Because you know where he is, right? Oh, and they line up for him almost. And he just gets kills. And you'll see he continues to get kills. And he just destroys the other team. So now it's left all on Jason R. 100 health, not 20. What can he do? Well, he's playing it really slowly. He still has 20 seconds. You know, he's just, I'm going to get this free kill. Why not? He pushes, I'm going to kill him. And, you know, if they go anywhere, you have to probably thank Jason. Because this is probably a huge hype for his team. To get a 1v3 clutch. So in the chat, probably right now, there's a bunch of fucking Jason R hypes. Because I don't know, it's pretty big impact, especially because they're a really emotional team, right? The yelling had to be tremendous right now, and Jason is supposed to have no reason to win that round. And as you see, the economy on the CLG side is starting to, dwindle down a little bit. Now they're having to spend all of their money. So it's really important. If CLG wins the round with 3 people, you might be able to see them start taking this round. Because now Splyce can get a bye. You can see they have a really nice bye. So it worked out well for them. One thing I would like to mention, as much as it was a great clutch, CLG played that terribly. As you see, they're all peeking one by one. Even like after the first guy dies, the other 2 people should stick together. Why not play together? Because one guy dies and you get the trade kill, right? How did they mess that up? But congrats to Jason R for winning that. Now we're going to have once again Davey with the op. And I feel like Davey has had tremendous impact with the AK, right? I don't like, they keep giving him the op and he's not really doing too much with it. He seems to think there's somebody in checkers for some reason. And I'm not saying he's a terrible opera. I'm just saying in the situation which we're in here on Cash, I don't see him really doing too much with the AK. So maybe that's something they should look at. Maybe I could look at the statistics and see like how many kills he got with the op versus the AK, and we can look at that. But I don't know, I just feel like I haven't really seen anything spectacular. Maybe it's just a bad game. That could definitely be a possibility. Basically, he dies here. We're going to have Arya here. They're boosting people up into mid. And then you're going to see Arya comes and gets a kill on somebody trying to push a main. Really bad flash. That's just terrible. Like, I don't know what Fugly's doing there. But he gets the kill here. But then the counter to that is you have Cutler sitting here by a truck. He's been waiting very patiently. And he just kills the people on my way. So basically the round's over at that point. We're going to look at... They get the bomb plant though. One thing I would like to mention is that Splyce always gets the bomb plants down. Like, they lost 2 rounds without bomb plants, but I think those were the save rounds, right? Maybe. Or maybe it was one with the save round and one wasn't. But they always get the bomb down. So whether they're winning or losing the round, it seems like they get a ton of bomb plants. So that's one thing to also mention. So now they're going to buy next round, right? Oh no, their economy is actually pretty bad. Oh, they got reset. Oh, damn, that's really bad. But yeah, what happened in that last round is I wasn't really watching it too well. It's just they retake the site and everybody's peeking and everybody dies. So there's not really too much to analyze there. It's just they all die. So now we got this really interesting smoke strat that, like, I've never seen it before. Probably people have, but I haven't seen it. It's really interesting. If you look, they're all going to line up here, right? And that's the purpose of it. Definitely any nade. If anybody expects this, they can throw one nade and counter it. You see one nade does get thrown in and it hits Abe, but another nade could do a lot more damage. They're sitting in a line so that they can throw smokes out in a line, and it's really cool. And then they're going to have people that come out and feed. So basically you have a guy planning, and you have a bunch of people throwing their life away. It's literally just to get the bomb plant. It doesn't matter if you win the round or not, it's just to get a bomb plant, so you can get a nice buy in the next round. So they can now, right? They should. Yeah, okay, so they can buy this round. That's perfect. They literally have a round style set just so that they can get a bomb plant. And I feel like that's really cool. That's a really cool idea. One thing is they have all these cool ideas throwing out, and I like that. It's something new, something great. So now we're moving into round 11. We're gonna look at JDM here. Why are we looking at JDM? I got my notes here. It's kind of dark. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is really important. So one thing Jason should be noting, because he's the A main player, is that, well, you can't see it now, but there was no A main smoke thrown in this round. And that is the biggest telltale sign that there's an op on A. Like, it's just the hugest sign ever. So what Splyce could not know is that they have two ops now. They actually bought a second op in the spawn, so they knew they had one, but now they have two. So they're basically doing a 1-3-1 setup right here. Unless he's not in the vent, I don't really know. But the biggest telltale ever, and that's why sometimes I don't even do it, is if A main is not smoked, there's an opper either at fence here or at quad here. Because they're literally just waiting for someone to peek into their scope. So I don't know, maybe Splyce didn't know this, or they didn't change their strat. But it's the easiest thing to fix. You just throw a smoke right here. And then you wait a few seconds, you throw some flashes. You'll see flashes don't stop JDM because he's a robot, but a smoke and some flashes should definitely help. But I think they had a plan at the beginning of the round and they kept doing it. They didn't change it because this is like the biggest telltale ever if they don't throw a smoke. Then opper's here, because even in matchmaking you'll see someone says, hey, don't throw an A main smoke, I'm opping it. It's like the most known thing ever. So we're gonna watch him, or we can watch their execute and just see on the kill feed JDM just gets kills. We can speed this up a little bit. Okay, so they're starting to do their execute right. They're throwing flashes. It's flashing JDM a lot. He gets a blind kill. They're throwing more flashes, more smokes. The smoke actually works for once. That's insane, isn't it? But basically, CLG's ready for it. They have somebody watching A main, which never gets smoked. And then they just have other people watching, you know, like blue or spamming or just watching for the A main push. But there's nothing that happens with this round. They don't do anything about the op, and it just shuts them down. So now we're moving into round 12. And I guess we get to look at Davey again. So they're back into another save round. Let's see, what kind of smoke does Davey throw? Please tell me it's not the same highway bad smoke. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh. I just don't understand. There has to be some sort of purpose for these smokes, because they never go well. Like, sure, this time they didn't get killed by it, but if somebody notices this, they could just know that Davey throws these bad smokes, and there's almost no justification for it. Why would you want to crack in that smoke? There's just no reason. And basically, they feel forced here. They molly out Jason in the corner, and Jason was trying to play off of him, but he dies because he gets mollied out. So then this guy's screwed because he's out in the open, and then they just, you know, come with Professor Chaos. Nobody has armor, so even when they pick up guns, they can't really do anything with it. There's not much they could do that round, but once again, look at this. That's insane. Look how many defusals they get. They get so much money from getting bombs down. It's tremendous. So apparently in this round, we get to watch Professor Chaos do some work. Oh, no. We actually... So in this round, they decide to do a later B take, and we're going to see some miscommunication, I think. We're going to look at Arya real quick. Where's Abe? Okay, it's Jason R. That's who it is. Yeah, okay. So Jason R comes in. He gets the B main player, and Abe over here by the sunroom-ish area kills Tarek over here outside of checkers. So basically now you have two B picks. So what does it mean? Well, essentially you have the site, right? You can't really expect 3 people immediately on the B site unless they're boosting, and they weren't boosting. And even if there's a third person, you just go and find them, right? But we're going to see what happens here. So Professor Chaos throws a molly here, right? They got killed so fast. There's no way he could expect that they were all on B, you know, just reacting as fast. So he just goes by the play and he throws the Molotov. Sure, it was bad, and you'll see. Jason R over here comes. He's waiting for this molly to go away so that he can plant, right? He's just sitting. You even see him walk forward. But then what happens? So they have the B bomb site, right? There's no doubt that they have the B bomb site. Jason is in the site with the bomb. They have the bomb site. Now, what happens? I don't know what. Maybe this is part of their strat because it's supposed to be a little bit delayed. But Davey throws another Molotov here. Now, the whole plan is Jason has the bomb. He's the only person here. Now, you see how there's 3 people over here in this area? Well, Jason's going to plant for them. He's going to plant for A main. So that these 2 people can come here and peek it from here. And Arya can play checkers and peek it here. Now, the problem with this is that Davey now throws a Molotov and he can't plant there. So now he decides to plant for a safe. So let's say this could have gone otherwise. This round could have gone pretty badly, pretty quickly. Definitely some miscommunication. Somebody either tell Davey not to throw the Molotov, or just have Davey know if they get picks, don't throw the Molotov. It just, I don't know. It seems so simple, but it happens. So what happens? CLG now smokes off B main. So now, even if it was planted for B main, it doesn't really work out too well. But there's not much that they can do, and they all get peeked to different places, and they all die. We're gonna watch Arya. I think he gets the kill, maybe? It doesn't... Oh, shit. Oh, I'm thinking of a different round. Oh, crap. Okay, so they do win this round. My bad. Because CLG doesn't do the retake. Oh, I think I was thinking of the earlier round where they do retake. Yeah, definitely. I got that mixed up. And, yeah, so they win the round. But let's say CLG got a couple kills. It could have definitely gone for the worst, because if they get somebody in the site, if they get somebody over here, they can defuse, and the players that were over here and over here can't do anything about it. They have to rush the bomb site, and that can always go poorly, right, when you're trying to rush things? So now we're going into the 14th round, second to last round of the half. And we're going to look at Arya here. We're going to see what he can get done. Oh, this smoke. I don't understand this. I was trying to think of it. So, effectively, it smokes out anybody playing vents, right? But I think he missed it this time. But yeah. I don't know exactly what that smoke is. I think it comes back later. Let's see. But basically, they come in the site and they just get kills. It's really all that there is to it. And then... yeah, so like... Cutler's not killing Arya somehow, even though he's just sitting there taking pot shots. And then CLG decides to save. Yeah. And then I think Hayes gets a few kills, yeah. Because they're not leaving the bomb site, Hayes is just staying here. Ugh. The lag. Okay, there we go. And then they just start to rush, right? So he gets 1 kill there, and then he gets another kill on somebody. They were playing way too aggressive, and they lost, I think it was 3 people, right? I don't know, there's not much to say there. They tried to make it so they couldn't save guns. But they do save 3 guns, and they decide to force around it, which is perfectly fine, right? It's last round. That's why they were rushing, because they knew they could get full buys anyway. And they're just trying to make sure the other team can't. So for this play, we're gonna watch mid here, right? They're gonna do mid smokes here, but they're just gonna walk out into it. And there's 2 people playing right here, so they just keep dying. Hayes gets all the kills. He doesn't even have to peek. You could hear Abe there. He's like, I couldn't get out. But basically, and that's the other thing. So like this smoke, what does it do? So it landed here. I really don't understand. I feel like it's supposed to go and block out vents, which is really cool, but it didn't happen this time. And then, I don't know, people just get whittled away at the end of this round. Because they push checkers, they push squeaky. So always, if you're doing fast plays and you're sending your whole team there, that means that they can push other places where you're not. Like I said before, why I don't like people sitting all over here and then doing delayed things is because the other team can push. Well, this time Fugly pushed here, gets a kill, gets traded. But there's nothing they could do. They were already down 2 people at the very beginning of the round. They got no trade on it. And yeah, that's that. And that's the half. So, I hope you guys liked the T-side demo review. I know it wasn't the best, but it's my first time doing something like this on a professional level, so level with me, I guess. But I do hope you liked it. I'll be doing the CT side later tonight.